Hey folks, this is Sam Roberts.
Hey, this is Kim Mitchell.
This is Hannah Georges.
This is Matt Mee.
This is Derry Graham from Honeymoon Suite, and you are listening to...
You're listening to...
And you're listening to
The Hulk Caesar Show.
Welcome to the Hulk Caesar Show. I am your host, Hulk Caesar, and with me as always is my illustrious co-host, Newfoundland songbird, the real McCoy, Emily Malloy. Emily, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Welcome back from 1994.
Thank you.
I've realized I sent you back in time to bring back Crystal Pepsi, but still no Crystal Pepsi.
I can't. I don't have it yet.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Send her back.
Send her back. We're, of course, joined by our co-host, the Slim Reaper, Dicky Strickland. Dicky, what's happening?
Oh, this is it.
I made that one up. I didn't even let the
Slim
AI pick
Reaper.
it.
AI has nothing to do with this show.
Well,
like it.
Jerry Lynn called us out there a few weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. She noticed some AI words in my script and called me out.
How do you notice AI words?
She probably used it herself. That's why.
Knew it.
Well, tonight's guest is a familiar voice on the Newfoundland and Labrador airwaves. He hosts The Signal on CBC Radio, the province's weekday lunch show, where he blends news, culture, and community conversations. Before that, he spent years reporting across Canada and around the world. He's lived in Japan, spent most of his 20s in South Korea, and even served in the Canadian Naval Reserves. Adam Walsh, welcome to the Hulk Caesar Show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We're going to chat with Adam about his experiences overseas, his work on CBC's The Signal, and find out about his time in the Naval Reserves, which I assume is just like it was on The Simpsons.
Obviously.
A little later on, we'll have a live musical performance from the delightful singer-songwriter Becca Bartlett. Let's get right to it.
Adam,
Yo.
good to have you. Thanks for coming aboard.
Thanks for having me. I love the space.
Oh, yeah, that's a credit to Hulk here.
He's the decorator.
He is the guy. So why don't you tell us, how'd you get started in journalism?
Weird route for me for journalism. So I got into journalism by going to South Korea, which I know, right? You know, it's like, that's not J school. No, it is not. I went in 2004 to teach English. I took like a scenic route through an arts degree. A buddy of mine who graduated on time went to South Korea, and he phoned because, we weren't emailing as much, even though we had email. And he was like, hey, do you want to come to South Korea? I was like, sure, man. Is it fun? He was like, yes. So I did for a year. And
Was it fun?
It was a lot of fun. It was like a university with like even less responsibility back then for that first year. Taught English, kept doing it. And then I was like, what am I doing in life? I kind of want to be a journalist. It was either that or maybe go back to the Navy, which I know we'll talk about. And so I got involved with this like English magazine in Seoul to try to pad up this like some kind of a portfolio to go to J school. And I was waitlisted for J school, and I ended up getting hired for a year by the Korea Herald. And I'm like, I don't think I need to go.
Yeah, you already got the job. I mean.
Yeah. So I did that, then moved back home, got in with VOCM for about 8 months or so, moved over to CBC, got a job there, and then it went on. So yeah, South Korea is the route for journalism back in the early aughts.
Amazing.
I like that it's called J school. That's cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the lingo that
Yeah.
the kids use who went to J school.
Fancy.
Cool.
Well, what were some of your more memorable stories you reported on while you were overseas?
Okay, so I was on my brother-in-law. This will get to a story, I promise. My brother-in-law was getting married, so I was in South Korea.
Okay.
My brother-in-law, but my wife's from South Korea.
Okay.
So I was there, and while I was there, it was this horrific story. This a ferry sank with like hundreds of children on it.
Oh, wow.
And there was no one with CBC in the country, so I ended up saying, well, okay. I was talking to folks in Toronto, and I started filing on this horrific sinking of this ship while I was there. So there was that one, which I will like still think about. My father-in-law is was a school teacher. He's retired. He's a principal of a school. So like us around the dinner table talking about that disaster, and there was talked about like failures in the Korean systems for like emergency response, and how could a ship kind of, how could this happen? And then even they weren't even that far from land, and there was a lot of this. So that was one of the ones from South Korea. I was also there during this time for protests that was called Candlelight Vigils. It was like 1 million people in the streets.
Crazy.
Seeing that, and, and learning that. So those are a couple of the ones from earlier on. Then when I was living in Japan for a bit through CBC, I actually got to go with a Japanese team to Donald Trump's first inauguration in D.C.
It's even sadder than the ferry tragedy.
There's a lot to that because I was there with like Japanese colleagues, so you're looking at that through an Asia Pacific lens.
Yeah.
And it's the first inaug for Donald Trump, and I can actually like that whole crowd size thing. I can show you where I was with like 4 or 5 other Japanese people on the picture of because we were waiting. We're like, when's the crowd going to show up? I'm like,
What are they getting here?
And I'm like, there I was because I'm like, yeah, I was crossing that building. That must be us right there. Those little specks.
Wow.
What'd you find the culture differences are between like South Korea and Newfoundland?
Let me see. Well, there's South Korea and Newfoundland for culture. I find there's a hurry up culture, a bali in Korean, like speed culture in South Korea that you don't find it as much here. Like for stuff, they want stuff to get done, right? But then like food culture, some of the drinking culture. Drink culture can be a little similar. There's a lot of
Love that.
alcohol consumption over the years in South Korea that I found out about when I was living there.
That's it. I wouldn't have expected that, actually.
No, I wouldn't either. I would have thought the opposite.
Yeah.
No, some folks have said the one name was the Irish of Asia for Korea, but also the
Really?
Italians of Asia too. Sometimes for food culture. So if you blend,
They
those
got all the
together-
bases covered.
Yeah.
Where'd you prefer living, in South Korea or in Japan?
I like both. Can I have both?
Yeah, you can.
Because like living in Tokyo, I was there for 2015 to halfway through 2019, just before the pandemic. That was fantastic. But I don't know, there's a vibrancy to go back to Seoul with like the K-pop and the Korean food side of things now. It is so cool to see how that city's developed. But also, I mean, I don't know, Tokyo is just a lot of fun. Weird to be there during an earthquake, though.
Oh,
'Cause
wow.
They happen like all the time. So there were times when I'd be like waiting to do like a little piece for Newsnet on like something that happened, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, my apartment's moving, and it has nothing to do with me talking about the thing. I'm going to talk about politics in 5 minutes. But like,
And that was normal. That happened.
yeah, it happened like a lot. Well, one time we're in Tokyo, and I'm in the newsroom, and like an earthquake happened. So like the building was swaying, and the phone cords are going back and forth. And all my colleagues are walking around like everything's normal. And I'm like, it's not normal. This is not normal. This is not normal. And it was so strange. And then like there's a tsunami alert.
They're
It was
like,
fine.
oh, Adam pulled the fire alarm again.
Yeah, it was like anything else. Like it was like if there's someone doing road work outside, the same type of like,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Adam, who was your favorite K-pop band?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'll just say BTS, right? Like just for the sake of
safety,
'cause
sure.
those are the ones. That,
Safety's sake.
Yeah, safety's sake. Yes, and in a real good way too. They're excellent.
All right. Well, after the break, we'll talk with Adam about his CBC radio show, The Signal. Last month, we were joined by playwright Cole Haley. Cole's play, There's Nothing You Can Do, runs at the Ellis Pugh Hall from May 7th to May 11th. You can check out www.ellispughall.ca for tickets. Our musical guest on that episode was the amazing Janeil Chantelle. Here's her live performance of Time on the Hulk Caesar Show.
Who got the time or the money today to say, okay, I'm happy. I know I'm going the right way when I ride around the top of my pencil breaks or scratch away to what I gotta say, staring at me on the page. Because we're crawling, we're climbing right up the hill we call time. It's going faster, baby. It's gonna leave us behind. Tell me, what should I do with the ride that's taking me through till the end? I'll only find top of that hill we call time. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh. Barely getting by, but I'm still getting high. Seize the time, ease my mind. Till that moment satisfied. No step I would erase, no thought I'd rewind, no meaning I wouldn't contemplate. Find the right reason inside. Oh. 'cause we're crawling, we're climbing right up. Here we call time. It's going faster, baby. It's gonna leave us behind. Tell me, what should I do with the ride? It's taking me through till the end. I'll only find top of that hill we call time. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh. There's a reason for me. There's a reason for you. There's a reason all of the things that we do. Take your time and move on, for the moment is gone. For that pendulum stops before we reach a town. Oh, oh, oh. 'Cause we're crawling, we're climbing right up. Here we come, time, and it's going faster, baby. It's gonna leave us behind. Tell me, what should I do with the ride? It's taking me through till the end. I'll only find top of that hill we call time. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh. Ooh, oh.
Welcome back to the Hulk Caesar Show, brought to you by the Resource Center for the Arts at the LSPU Hall. We are talking with Adam Walsh. Adam, your show, The Signal, lives in the slot that was once Crosstalk. Can you tell us about that transition?
Yeah. So when when Ramona Deering was retiring, they asked me to fill in, and they were like, you know what, you can play around a bit with format. That was a daily call-in show, right? It had been for years, but there was a point where it was Radio Noon Crosstalk, and then it became Crosstalk. And then when I got in, I was like, think of this time that we're in right now for conversation, for community conversation. And I thought, maybe a different name. And we talked about it, and we ended up settling on The Signal, because I was like, well, you've got this great communications history for the province. Also, we're in this hooked up wireless like time of communicating, and I thought The Signal is something that could always fit for these community conversations I wanted to start to have. So then I got in, and we started messing around, and we're still a call-in show. Just it's not always every day a call-in show. Sometimes we have panel discussions about issues of the day, right? The thing that we brought in was the value I brought into the show for when we were just kind of thinking about it. I was like, okay, I want to bring empathy in. Empathy is the value. Yeah. And then it's about connecting community. And a community can be us here right now on this podcast. It can be a literal town. It can be a group of people anywhere in the province. It's just about speaking to people to understand who they are, where they're from, what matters to them, and then how that matters to everyone else in the province. So we started doing that. And also we bring the show out around. We've been all around the province, hoping to get to the Northern Peninsula soon. But cool. Yeah, going out into the community is a lot of fun too.
Nice.
How do you do that when you go to community? You got like a mobile kit you take with you?
Yeah, so it's 2 microphones and a Dejero and a TV camera. And we also, that's it.
What's a Dejero?
So it's like a suitcasey type of a thing. And they use it for TV so that you can, essentially, if you want to be live for television, it's the little box that they'll bring. And then the TV camera can be beamed back to, I'm very technical. Beamed back to CBC. And some can be live for television. But the other thing we found is that, well, we can also do radio this way, and it's easy. So what we'll do is we'll go out to, like, I don't know, we were in Lewisport last summer. So you go out, you find a spot, and I've got my microphone set in front of me. We get the TV camera as well, because they clip that then for television if they want it. Mm-hmm. And then I've got what I call a main guest, and they talk about the town. Like, tell me about the town. Who else do we meet? And we rotate people through. And we typically take 2 song breaks where it's like, okay, song's on. How you doing? How are we doing? Everything okay? Then we keep going. Cool. And that's it, And it's stripped down, but it allows us to be out and be like, hi, we're here. We care. We want to know who you are, what you're about, what matters to you, what your challenges are, what you want to brag about for your town or your community, and where things are going.
Well, in relation to that, how do you decide on what your topics are and the guests, who they're going to be and stuff like that for your show?
So it's a range, right? I look at every week and every month, almost like, like you're composing like an orchestra, you put on a playlist or something, right? So it's like, okay, what's in the news that's happening? like budget day was today. So I'm doing a budget show tomorrow. But what's interesting in the time, what's important in the time. So it's housing shows. Maybe it's some kind of community development show, but also like when it was over Ramadan, we had folks in from the local Muslim community. So you're getting all this stuff. And then you get people who will pitch show ideas as well. So I've got a calendar and it goes ahead a couple of months. I start filling in gaps and I leave holes for when the premier resigns. But also it's kind of like, okay, this is serious. But, it'd be nice to have something a little lighter for this day, but still equally as important, whether it's about, like today, we had the crowd from Skeet in talking about the movie, right?
Cool.
So that was today's show, full studio talking about that. So this is the range that we kind of, that we get into. And like Friday, it's Parkinson's Awareness Month, so we got folks who are going to come in talking about what it's like to live and hopefully thrive while living with Parkinson's in Newfoundland and Labrador, and some of the medical considerations are.
Amazing. Now it blows my mind that you guys do an hour every day. We do an hour a week, and it's putting me in the grave. So like,
It's exhausting.
what does your day look like?
Day starts somewhere 7:30 to 8 or a little bit after 8, depending on the day. So I come in, I go through emails. I think, okay, who should I be emailing? I look at the schedule. Like I also set alarms for the calls through the day. So it's me and associate producer. We also have a technician on the show. 9 o'clock, I go to like the morning producers meeting for CBC. So we're like, okay, what's in the news? What's everyone doing? What should we be aware of?
That must be cool.
Yeah, it's kind of neat, right? So it's a bit of a discussion. And that's only 15 minutes, right? It's just like who's doing what and what, like, and maybe there's a discussion like tariffs, right? It's like, okay, what are you all doing around tariffs and the threats of them, and where's that going? Okay, so we talk about that. I go out, I talk to the show AP, who Arlette Lazarenko's on the show right now, so me and her talk, and then I kind of finish the writing of the show and kind of wrapping my head around the conversation. Go down 11:30, guests come in, we get ready. 12:05, 1 o'clock done. Then a promo, 1:15. I eat for 15 minutes. Typically, there's a call for some guest at 1:30. I have a 2 o'clock afternoon meeting that goes to 2:30, and then it's still like, what's the forward bit of the show? Where are we going? Because not just tomorrow, it's 2 weeks from now. It's like, for example, the summer games are coming, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do multiple summer game shows. So I'm talking to them about that planning, but also there's other stuff happening. Provincial elections around the corner. We got the federal election on the go right now. So you have to have all of that in the run of a week. And then also every season we do a Newfoundland Quarterly show with folks from the Quarterly who wrote in it. Like, so this is the range of stuff we have.
Wow.
That's amazing.
It's fun.
That's
And every day is a different conversation. And, I'd say I get to learn a lot. I get to forget a lot every single day. Where did it go?
What have been some of your favorite episodes so far?
Oh, gosh. Let me see. We went back. It may not have been the Signal, but we were in the process of making it the Signal. So we went down to Meowpukek, Conner River for powwow.
Oh, cool.
And we didn't even know. We're like, can we even broadcast? What's the connectivity like? And it worked. And it was like, oh, that was fantastic. Went to powwow in Flat Bay as well. That Lewisport show in Twillingate this summer was a lot of fun. Bonavista as well. We did a really hard show. It was about the crisis in the Middle East in Gaza, and we did one of that with a couple of folks that will stay, right? Because it was such a powerful conversation. So like I said before, for the range of the shows,
That's so cool.
vest.
Yeah.
Wild.
I like it.
All right, well, here's another song recorded live in our Hot for the Moment studios high above Posey Row in downtown St. John's, Newfoundland. It's the working man's musician, Evan AuCoin, with Faraway Light on the Hulk Caesar Show.
There's a faraway light trailing behind the beacon of my former port, and there's a gleam in your eyes shining so bright, guiding me to my new home, guiding me to my new home. There's a faraway light trailing behind beacon of my former port, and there's a gleam in your eyes shining so bright, guiding me to my new home, guiding me to my new home. Winter long, not as lonesome as I thought, rougher times ended smooth. This has become away from who I was. I found me when I found you. I found me when I found you. And there's a fire so bright, guiding me to my new home. Guiding me to my new home. Happy days were the brightest that I've seen. 1 and 1, they make 2. This has become, the best I've ever been. I owe this all to you. I owe so much to you. And there's a faraway light trailing behind, speaking of my former port. And there's a gleam in your eyes, shining so bright, guiding me to my new home. Guiding me to my new home. There've been other harbors on the way, passing ships in the night. Nothing ever made me wanna stay, till I was beckoned by your lights. And there's a faraway light trailing behind, beacon of my former port. And there's a gleam in your eyes, shining so bright, guiding me to my new home. Guiding me to my new home. There's a faraway light trailing behind, picking up my former port. And there's a gleam in your eyes, shining so bright, guiding me to my new home. Guiding me to my new home.
Presented to you by the Resource Center for the Arts at the LSPU Hall. We are joined on the Hulk Caesar Show by CBC's Adam Walsh. Adam, can you explain tariffs to us? I'm just kidding.
All right, here we go. No.
What are your thoughts on the future of traditional radio?
Traditional radio, I love radio.
Mm-hmm.
Radio's great. We still have lots of listeners, so I think the future for traditional radio is there. But also, I put the show up on YouTube every day too.
Yeah.
I think we're in a time where you just got to be where people are, and people are in a lot of places.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you a bit jealous that like we didn't go to J school and we have a show?
No, I love it. No, I think that, like when you get folks filling spaces like this, talking about local stuff, the more we get like that, the better. Right? Like,
Yeah.
looking back on like the guests you've had, right? Like some of VOCM colleagues who've been in here before, having folks from community talk about who they are, what they're doing, what they're all about. That's my jam. I love it, and I love anyone else who's doing it.
We had Jerry Lynn in here. I know Jerry Lynn from high school.
Yeah.
And I lost my train of thought.
Hey, it happened. It happens.
All right.
That's what I always do then is I look around and I go, thoughts.
Thoughts. I like that.
I'm like,
I like that.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
thoughts?
And it's
I'm going to be saying that now, and you guys are going to die laughing.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Before diving into journalism, you served in the Naval Reserves and navigated ships.
Yeah. So over just across the way there at HMCS Cabot. So way back in after high school, I worked at McDonald's for like a couple of months, and I was like,
Which one?
the one in Mount Pearl.
Yeah.
Commonwealth Avenue. So I worked there just for a couple of months, and I was like, I don't know about this. I wouldn't mind, $4.75 an hour is not cutting it.
I like ships.
Yeah, well, I didn't even know. I tried to join the Army, and they lost my paperwork, actually.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, I guess I'm not going to be a field engineer. And so then I'm back in recruiting again, and then they're like, how would you like to go to sea? I'm like, sure. What do I do? Like, you learn to navigate ships. And I'm like, cool. So I went, did basic training in 99 in Esquimalt, and then over summers I learned to navigate. So I was on the MCDVs, the little short, small maritime coastal defense vessels that we have, and I had my bridge watchkeeper's ticket on one of those. I was a lieutenant Navy in the reserves. It was great.
Wow,
That's
Lieutenant.
so cool.
Yeah.
I was
LT.
I was also there for 9/11 when all the planes. I mean, Gander gets deservedly a lot of attention,
Yeah.
but we also had folks here, and I was this young 21-year-old acting sub lieutenant. I speak French, so when we have 450 odd people come there, I was doing interpretation for people who were coming off the planes. And
That's
it was,
amazing.
quite
Wow.
fun.
Did they have a McDonald's on the ship that you could moonlight with?
I sometimes though I would make ice cream sundaes if we were in home port in Esquimalt, and I was like the officer of the day on ship. I'd make sundaes for people.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now,
'Cause, I had keys to the galley.
Officer of the year, it sounds like to me.
That's what I was going for. Like, get your little picture up there on the wall.
He's a lieutenant. You got to salute him.
That's pretty cool.
That's amazing. What else are you into?
I got into running when I was in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Like distance running or?
Yeah, like so I've done the Cape to Cabot 4 times, which is so you run from Cape Spear all the way up to the top of it.
My friend did that once.
It's hard. Yeah, it's not. Every time I'm there at the starting line, I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? And then because you look, it's there, and then it takes so much time, but it's fun. I like it. Keeps me half in shape and mental health.
So
and all
you
that.
run up Signal, like
Yeah,
up.
so you
That's the end of it.
Yeah, that's the end. Right, that's the end of the race. You start at Cape Spear and you run the whole.
You start at
What?
Cape
I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, that's the starting line. It's 20 kilometers.
I thought you started at
Wow.
the bottom of Signal Hill.
And still she
I was
was
like,
like, oh, that's outrageous.
I've done that.
Exactly.
Really? How could you do that? Oh wait, there's another like
Cape
18
Spear.
kilometers.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
And you started doing that in Japan.
Yeah. We were just living in Tokyo, but my mom was like, "Hey, let's start going for runs." And I was thinking of going to the gym, so we started running. And like the experience, because this time the cherry blossoms are out right now, and so you're running through Tokyo and the cherry blossoms are blowing. You're like, and it's flat. You're like, this is beautiful. I come home to Newfoundland, I'm running the
yeah.
Cape to Cabot with the wind, and I'm like, this is not the same.
It's not as pretty.
And the Japanese are always practicing running for the inevitable return of Godzilla.
That's what it is.
right?
Yeah,
Exactly, of course.
Yeah,
The
of
year
course.
the Runaway from Godzilla.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I heard you're a foodie.
I like food.
Yeah.
Food's good. Do you like food?
No.
Yeah, it's not
He
for
really doesn't.
He doesn't. He's
Not a joke.
No, I've had friends. See, I know folks who, I don't understand it, but I know folks who don't.
I think if I built a house, I would, instead of having a dining room, I'd have a series of small rooms like washrooms with a single chair and table in there, and everybody would take their food and go eat in private.
I've been able to, I love food, and also I've eat like, my range of what I can eat has expanded over the years. Like, so if you look at the videos from South Korea, like sun nakchi, long-legged octopus that they serve, and like it's still,
And it's still moving?
Yeah, so I've eaten that a bunch of times.
Stop it.
Right?
No, you
And
haven't.
I
I've just went down a TikTok rabbit hole of
Yeah,
this.
it's so good. It's really good. I had fermented skate last time I was there.
But is it still alive, or is it just like their muscles are still like
I don't
reacting?
think it's having many thoughts at that point.
Okay.
But,
Is it like squiggle when it's going down your throat and stuff?
No,
or?
it's so I chew it, but it has stuck to my tongue and the top of my mouth and stuff, right? Because you're just okay. Here we go.
Or like the suction cups?
Yeah, because they're not big, but they're there.
I don't know about that.
It's pretty cool.
I also don't like the sea or sea creatures, so you're really hitting on all the things.
You're gonna have night terrors. Tonight.
I'm impressed. That's pretty cool. I'd be afraid that like the tentacle would like come out and like
They chop them up and
grab you in the face again.
Or I wake up in the middle of the night and it's coming out my nose, going crazy.
which could happen.
Don't want that. I don't want that.
It actually reforms in your stomach.
Oh, man.
It crawls up and out.
Oh,
out your
boy.
nose.
That sounds cool.
Then
to
it's
me.
in my house, the door's locked, but it's already in the house.
And then it's feeding time for the.
Oh man, I never even thought about that, but now it's all I can think about. All right, Adam,
Nightmare unlocked.
if folks have an idea for a show or want to reach out, how can they get a hold of you?
Adam.Walsh@cbc.ca.
Fantastic. All right, let's take a quick break and then we'll set up for tonight's performance. It's now time for a live musical performance in our Hot for the Moment studios high above Posey Row in downtown St. John's, Newfoundland. Tonight's musical guest is a rising singer-songwriter whose voice really stops you in your tracks, blending pop and folk in a way that feels fresh but familiar. Her lyrics hit close to home with melodies you'll be humming all week. We're super excited to have her here with us in the studio. Becca Bartlett, welcome to the Hulk Caesar Show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
What do you have for us first?
This first tune is, it's called Fading Light, and this is one I wrote a few years back, the night before an open mic when I wanted to sing something new. And instead of being about a romantic interest I had in the moment, I kind of wrote it about a connection that I hope to have someday. And one part of this that I find really cool is when I recorded it years later, my current boyfriend now plays guitar on that track. So kind of as a little full circle moment for myself and say, hey, I got that. So this one's actually available on streaming services. I released it last July. Fading Light by Becca Bartlett.
Great.
When the sun is out of sight, I wonder where you're gone. You make me think in metaphors. I'll paint you in my songs. We wake up in this cruel world, whether we like it or not. But you make 1,000 tomorrows such a pretty thought. And time breaks down each innocent heart. And sweet surrender isn't always smart. But I'll give you my heart tonight. 'Cause there's something about your bright eyes in the fading light. You can be my summer boy when fall is closing in. And you can be my winter joy with snowflakes on your skin. You've entered my citadel, corroded like the sea. Now I will give you the whole world if you'll share it with me. And time breaks down each innocent heart. And sweet surrender isn't always smart. But I'll give you my heart tonight. 'Cause there's something about your bright eyes in the fading light. The fading light. The fading light. Oh, my whole world was turned upside down by the love in your eyes tonight. Tonight. I'll give you my heart tonight. 'Cause there's something about your bright eyes in the fading light.
Awesome. So good.
Very good.
Cool.
Great.
Give me real Frank Black Pixies vibes.
I
The
know.
guitar, right?
Yeah.
It's wicked.
Becca, why don't you tell us when you got started in playing music?
Great question.
Thank you.
I've ever since I could probably speak. I know this is the most generic answer ever, but I've been singing, and my love of music kind of started. I was always in choirs as a kid. But one day I was avoiding class because I have ADHD and I just didn't want to sit down in there. And I heard music coming from the band room. And so I went in there and I said, well, what's going on? And this guy said, oh, are you here for bass auditions? And I said, do you have to know how to play bass? And they were just testing to see which kid's fingers could fit on a bass. And I was the lucky one, I guess, with the piano bass fingers. And kind of from there on, I not only loved music, but kind of had the inspiration to create my own music, whether I was writing bass lines, whether I was writing my own songs eventually. It started from poetry, which then turned into melodies, which then turned into, when we would do poetry units in class, I would ask my teacher if I could sing. And everybody hated it because it was so extra, but I'm sure they also liked it a little bit. And yeah, it's always been a really integral part of my life and my upbringing.
Cool.
Beautiful. Who are your biggest musical influences?
For me, my biggest musical influences, Hozier is probably my number one. Just in his lyricism, in the way he kind of creates these like ethereal soundscapes and like just really deep emotions. I love how everything from him feels earthy. I'm really trying to go for that in my next album. I love Joni Mitchell, again, amazing lyricist, and I feel like her authenticity is very inspiring to me. Nice. Artists like Kate Bush, Norah Jones as well inspires some of my chords and some of my
I love Norah Jones.
Kate Bush.
So good.
Awesome. Well, can you introduce your next song for us?
Absolutely. So this next one is, this one's pretty intense. For a while there, I felt like I couldn't really write songs about myself and my own experiences because I would get so picky and say, but that's not exactly how I feel. So I would write stories about other people, characters in my mind, what people on TV shows might be feeling. But for this one, I kind of came up with the concept of me, myself, in a mirror. What's going on in your mind when you're alone in front of the mirror and just experiencing you with no one else's input going on. And I wrote this at a time where I just really, I wasn't happy with myself. I had just gone through a series of disappointments. I wasn't accepted into something that I planned my entire life around. I felt like I based what I wanted to be off of what other people thought of me. I didn't have a good self-perception. And I thought that the more I hated myself, the more motivation I'd have to be better. And the cool part of this song is I left it for a while, and when I came back and wrote it, I had realized that the truth about motivation is loving yourself goes way further than hating yourself ever will get you. So this one's called Me, Myself, and a Mirror, and it's actually the title track of the EP I'm currently recording.
We're going to talk about that after the break.
Awesome. I'm actually going to grab a little sip of water before I do this one. Mm-hmm. Just me, myself, and a mirror, echoes of a tainted mind. Would the blame be easier to place without those pleading eyes? And I just wanna say it's okay, but with self-doubt I'm overthrown, sitting here with my reflection. I've never felt more alone. If you told me that I'm worth it, maybe that would change my mind. I don't trust my own perception. I see my worth through others' eyes. But if your gaze should wander from me and I start to feel you drift away, I would change my own reflection if that's what it takes to make you stay. And all my best intentions end with could be better, when all I wanted was to make you proud. But the voices get so loud when it's just me, myself, and a mirror. Just me, myself, and a mirror, echoes of a tainted mind. I won't let you look too close, 'cause I'm afraid of what you'll find. I try and try to know redemption, the hamster wheel that I must run. Why must I hate what's unfinished in spite of all the good I've done? And all my best intentions end with could be better, when all I wanted was to make you proud. But the voices get so loud when it's just me, myself, and unconditional love. Why can't I look her in the eye? My reflection, my inner child. You can't fix what's broken with tape, but you can learn to love the new shape. And it's never been clearer, just me, myself, and a mirror. And all at once I knew that I deserved better. And all that really matters is making myself proud. And that's what I'm doing now. 'Cause it's just me, myself, and a mirror.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Man, your writing is so good.
Thank you.
Amazing. You traveled to Montreal for the Music NL Folk Alliance event in February, along with many of Newfoundland's rising stars and former guests of the program. What was the experience like?
That was an incredible experience. I first found out about it when I was at Music NL Week. Actually, one of the delegates told me that there's this amazing conference where every night after all the kind of programming and the showcases, they fill the hotel floors. They take the beds out of the hotel rooms and they fill them up with just like hundreds of musical acts. And you can sign up for showcases and try to get these opportunities, and then you get to go around for hours every night and just watch all these incredible musicians perform.
Super cool.
Wow.
And
That is very cool.
of course, my favorite place I got to perform was the Music NL East Coast room. Everybody who was there that weekend, it was just so nice to get to sit with my friends and listen to, 2 or 3 of their songs. And then also get to kind of add to that. It was fantastic. I went up without a guitar. I went from Vancouver. I was actually up there visiting family and didn't have a guitar, didn't know how I was going to get to a place to rent a guitar. My showcase was that night, a few hours after I got off the plane. And I was kind of stressing out. I was like, I don't have time to get anywhere before it closes. I get off the plane at 5, they close at 6. Anyway, I walk into the hotel a little bit overwhelmed, and I run into the first Newfoundlanders I see, which was Jordan from Quote the Raven. I don't know if you've had them on.
Of course, many times.
And I said, oh yeah, a stressful day, got off the plane, got to figure out how to get a guitar. And he said, oh, you can use mine. And I was like, yeah, that's Newfoundland for you.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
What you're working on an EP right now?
Yes, I am.
Cool. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this will be my first EP. I've put out a few singles so far, but for many, many years I've talked about, I'm recording this EP, and it takes a long time to get all the things together to actually record an EP. So I've had a long time to kind of curate this. And it's called Me, Myself, and a Mirror, based off that title track. And the overall arcing theme of the album is kind of acceptance and deeply understanding. So it's like having love for yourself, having love for nature as well. There are some songs, there are a lot of songs that talk about nature, that talk about the imperfections. In nature, there's a tune called Cicadas that is about how, you can be totally messy and imperfect and still be perfect for you. There's a song called Tears of Gaia, which is kind of how angry I am about what we and they, who they are, have done to the planet. And there's
She's talking about you, Emily.
Yeah, I know.
I was wondering.
It's me.
There's some,
I'm trying.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm trying.
Yeah, all the tunes on there are kind of just about the theme of acceptance and understanding and kind of just having an awareness of the connections we have to nature and to ourselves.
Cool. When can we expect to see that?
That one's coming out at some point in the fall.
Ooh,
Beautiful.
nice.
Yep,
Well, thanks.
2025.
Amazing.
Nice.
Thanks to our friends at the Resource Center for the Arts at the LSPU Hall, we have time for one more song. Now, I saw Becca perform last month, and she did a cover that I really loved, and she graciously agreed to perform it for us here tonight. Becca, what are we going to enjoy?
We're going to do some No Rain by Blind Melon.
What?
Of course.
Sick.
I love this too. And this
Oh,
is,
wow.
one of my favorite covers to do. All I can say is that my life is pretty plain. I like watching the puddles gather rain. And all I can do is just pour some tea for two and speak my point of view, though it's not sane. It's not sane. I just want someone to say to me, whoa, oh, 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 I'll always be there when you wake. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know I'd like to keep my cheeks dry today. So stay with me and I'll have it made. And I don't understand why I sleep all day and I start to complain that there's no rain. And all I can do is read a book to stay awake, and it rips my life away, but it's a great escape. Escape, escape, escape. I just want someone to say to me, whoa, oh, 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 I'll always be there when you wake. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know I'd like to keep my cheeks dry today. So stay with me and I'll have it made. All I can say is that my life is pretty plain. You don't like my point of view, you think that I'm insane. It's not sane. It's not sane. I just want someone to say to me, whoa, oh, 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 I'll always be there when you wake. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know I'd like to keep my cheeks dry today. So stay with me and I'll have it made. I'll have it made. I'm really gonna have it made. Oh, 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 oh.
That's awesome.
That was so cool.
I love Blind Melon. They're one of my favorite bands. Amazing.
That is the coolest cover I've ever heard of that song.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Wicked.
Love that tune.
Becca Bartlett, thank you so much for tonight's performance. Do you have anything else you'd like to plug?
I have a, when will this air?
In the next 3 or 4 days?
Okay, perfect. I have a show coming up May 16th at the Rec Room.
Nice.
And,
Oh, nice. That'll be fun.
Yeah, keep an eye out too. The first single of the EP is going to be coming out in July, Cicadas. I'm really excited for that one. Very Hosier inspired. So keep an eye out for that one.
Awesome.
Nice.
I love it.
Cool. All right. Now it's time to play everyone's favorite game of questions. Caesar's Casual Conversations with tonight's guests, Adam Walsh and Becca Bartlett. We've refilled the commemorative E.T. the Extraterrestrial hat with questions, as seen here. Go to camera 2. Choose one and answer it as much as you'd like, or ask to draw another one.
Now, I printed these questions today. A couple months ago, I asked the AI to give me 100 questions to ask people on the show, and those were the 100 we've already asked. So now we have the 100 secondary questions that the AI had. So you've seen the best. Now read the rest. There you go, Adam. You can go first.
Second tier AI. I love it. Okay. So what do I do?
Just read it and answer it, and we'll all answer it.
Well, this is a good question.
Oh.
This is top tier AI. This is nice. So what do I got to do?
Just read it, and then you can
read it out loud
Yeah.
for the room.
Yep.
All right. Would you rather explore the ocean or outer space?
Oh, yeah. How about yourself?
You've already done the ocean, I think.
I've done the top of the ocean.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
There's
underneath.
more than the top.
There's a lot.
Oh, okay.
The underbits kind of freak me out. I mean, it all depends. Like, are we talking like, for space? Are we going to be in something where we can actually go places?
Yeah, I don't know. Space is not much really. It's just
Like for what we have
emptiness.
now, I guess it would be cool, but you can't really, you just go up and
float around.
And I think you need to be qualified. But if I didn't have to be qualified and I could go out and fast and back and not like in one of those weird sci-fi things where everyone else is dead and I'm still alive, maybe I'd do space.
That's my dream situation where everyone else is dead and I'm floating alone in space.
That's your dream.
No food, floating in space.
I'm on
living my best
IV.
life.
Steve's such a people person.
It's very people-y. I would probably pick space because the ocean is absolutely terrifying.
And filled with plastic.
Yeah, and they've only discovered like 10% of it.
Who knows what the other 90% is?
F that.
That's right.
Becca,
Becca, what do you think?
I'm not cool because I feel like I'd pick like neither, first of all. But the ocean is beautiful from above and from like my phone screen, but I'm terrified of a number of things down in there. It's probably pretty cold. And,
Tentacles, right? You don't like tentacles?
I do not like tentacles.
Things in there.
So thank you
Some
for
of
that
those,
conversation.
I wish I'd have known that before I told my story earlier in the show.
I can handle it. I've faced that. I had to go years of therapy now.
You did well.
I think honestly, it would be amazing to go up in space, just to kind of observe like the world from below, kind of take a look at that and be like, wow, we are literally nothing. Like that's super cool.
Now you say the world from below. Me and my former co-host Mark Galway on CHMR had this conversation one night. Is there an up and down in space, or is it like?
Is there an up and down in real life?
Oh boy! Oh, now we're getting deep.
I don't know.
Dicky, what do you think? Space or sea?
I think because it would have to be determined by like how much access I have to space. Because like the ocean, it seems like we have a lot of access, and it seems like there's a lot of stuff to see there. In space, like we were saying earlier, doesn't seem like a whole lot. They're doing this thing now where they send the Blue Origin or whatever people up, and it's like they do all this training and stuff, and they go up for like 3 minutes, and that just seems like such a waste. But to answer your question, I think the ocean. Also, I thought we talked about we're not supposed to talk about former co-hosts anymore.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. I of course hate the ocean and think we should pave it over and build Walmarts on it. So I'll go to space. Emily?
Oh God. Okay. If you could have dinner with anyone, living or dead, who would it be?
Ooh.
Does it have to be like a famous person?
No, it can be anybody, I guess.
I'd pick my grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you miss him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'd pick my grandfather for sure.
Nice.
Paul McCartney? I
Oh
feel.
boy, I hate Paul McCartney. He's like enemy number 2 of the show.
Oh no.
Is the other one the M word?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'm just gonna get like edited. I'm gonna look at it and be like,
We
why
might
did I
have
edit
to
it
beep you.
out of this? And now we have musical guests. Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think. I was thinking maybe Jesus, just to talk to him. Hosier, maybe. I don't know. That's a really hard question.
It is.
But I feel like
Hosea or Jesus?
yeah, very similar
Similar
vibe.
style.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna change my answer to Jesus, even though Paul would be cool because I don't know. I just feel like that guy's got some good things to say, and, not
cool.
even in a particularly religious way, just in a like real person way. You know?
Well, Paul's bigger than Jesus, isn't he?
bigger than Jesus.
He's a bit bigger than Jesus.
Boy, we do great impressions.
Oh man, let's keep those going.
Well, what about you, Adam?
Oh gosh, living or dead? I don't know. You know what? I'm going to stick with the Beatles. I'm going to say John Lennon.
Nice.
Right?
We can
Lennon.
all
We can go, and then I'll give you a call. We'll go to dinner with the Beatles.
Oh, look, he's great at it too.
Jesus.
I'm not gonna try mine.
Have you heard of Jesus, Paul? Yes, I've heard of Jesus. We can talk about Jesus. Okay, Paul. There we were.
Whoa, it's like the Beatles are here.
They're the musical guest, not me.
Dicky?
Oh, Jesus.
No, she picked Jesus.
Oh, right. Sorry. I don't know. George Harrison.
Oh, boy, we're getting all the Beatles. Well, I'm not picking Ringo. Yeah, I don't like
Strange.
Plato, maybe. I'll go have dinner with Plato.
Oh yeah.
In a cave. And we'll just,
In a
like,
cave?
We'll just like stare at the shadows on the wall and eat macaroni.
You don't even like to eat with people.
I know, but Plato.
You'd make an
come on.
exception.
The perception, is he really there, or is the shadows on the wall the reality?
Wow. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna bring Becca over one.
It's a trick question for Steve. He wouldn't be having a dinner party.
Yeah.
Mine. Oh wait, can I not answer it?
Sure.
If you don't want to, yeah, pick another one.
I want to know what the question is now.
You can. I'll tell you what. We can talk about it after.
Okay.
It's actually not super scandalous. It just.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, sometimes I picked out stupid ones, and I was
Right.
like, it's just there's no point.
Oh, would you rather have an unlimited supply of your favorite food or never gain weight? I feel like, I don't know, gaining weight's pretty cool, honestly. I think I'd like to have an unlimited supply of my favorite food. That's so much fun.
What is that?
My favorite food, well, I'm going to have to, I feel like mango is my favorite
Yes.
food. I don't know. I think I really love orange foods. So like cheese, mango, I'm blanking on other orange foods, but I
Peppers.
really like.
Craft dinner.
Craft dinner.
Well,
Why
that was
orange?
my favorite food
What else
for
is
years.
orange?
I don't know. It's just like when I see something that
Chips,
looks really orange.
Doritos.
Or like that vodka pasta with like the tomato paste in it. Whenever I see a video of that stuff, I immediately crave it. And also mangoes because of the same color. Oranges are good. I'm not crazy about clementines, but I do like tangerines, and like people try to say they're the same thing.
They're not.
But yeah,
They're
I'd
not.
like to have I'd love to have just like many mangoes and then like just chunks of cheese. as well.
Nice.
Emily?
Mangoes and cheese. What was the question?
Unlimited amount of your favorite food or never gain weight?
Probably unlimited amount of my favorite food because
The cost of groceries, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Which is,
that'd be cool. I actually love mangoes also.
look, I don't have enough mangoes that you can both have all the mangoes you can eat, all right?
It's fair. My
Our mango budget is through the roof already.
I would be really cheap because I love liver. Like I could
Oh, yeah.
buy a pack of chicken liver and be satisfied on that for a long time.
You
or
are
ramen.
you're the first woman I've ever heard say that like liver. I think.
Really? Yeah, I love it. Everybody saves it for me for turkey dinner.
Oh, nice.
Amazing.
I love it too.
Adam?
A nice charcoal grill on livers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Can't relate.
Not the gain weight thing does not matter. I would food and I don't know, probably like sushi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sushi's good.
When I was living in Tokyo, there's a spot we went, and it was just all different types of tuna sushi. They would even serve the eyeball meat, and they would serve the eyeball of the tuna with it, which is gigantic.
Yeah.
So I would just go there and stare the eyeball in the face, and eat to my heart's content.
Amazing.
That.
Dicky?
Oh, David Bowie. Oh no, sorry. Probably my favorite food. I don't like to gain weight either.
Yeah.
I guess the food. Yeah.
What's your favorite food?
Cool Ranch Doritos, maybe.
Cool Ranch Cheetos are good.
Another orange thing I love, the zesty one.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Excellent.
orange, yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't want the food, and I've never gained weight, so I don't know. I guess I'd like to gain some weight and be a big like buff superstar.
Yeah, I'd be cool with gaining.
Oh,
weight,
we talked
really.
about gaining weight. Is that also
yeah,
included?
bulk is weight, right?
Oh, I take
wanna be
my answer
massive.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me and you,
Never
Dicky, we'll
gain
go on
weight.
tour like Hans and Franz.
Or never gain weight?
Never gain weight. Yeah.
Oh, never gain. Oh, that was. the thing.
never gain weight.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
never.
The question was a little confusing.
That was a little confusing.
Yeah,
You know what? AI's fault.
That's AI's fault.
yeah. That's why they were
blame
the
it on
secondary
AI.
questions.
They won't replace us.
All right, what do we got here?
I hope.
Ooh, what's the most beautiful place you've ever been? I would say Mexico, probably. I love Mexico. There's some beautiful places in Mexico.
Excellent.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going back this
Yeah,
time.
we'll go that
We're
way.
Switching it up. Okay, I thought I had more time. I honestly I can't think of anything more beautiful than my favorite spot in Bowring Park. I don't want to say what it is because then everybody's going to go
It's
there.
your spot. Don't
but
tell
it's
anybody.
like, yeah, it's like half secret, half not. And not even just the specific place that makes it beautiful, but like being there at kind of like sunset type time in the summertime, seeing like the birds and the trees and the sunlight coming through it feels like a movie. And I love Bowring Park. I'm going to get married there. If I get married and if it's like the hurricanes and fires haven't taken us all out by the time that happens for me.
Good. Well, knock on wood. Emily?
Most beautiful place. I'm going to have to say the Northern Peninsula and Flowers Cove.
Nice.
That's where my grandmother is from. And I spent a lot of my childhood there. And it's just really beautiful to wake up like right next to the ocean and just, go
Awesome.
pick mussels in your rubber boots and It's really nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Adam?
We did this trip twice when we were living in Japan, my wife and I. There's a lake called Kawaguchiko. It's next to Mount Fuji, so we went in the fall. You're there, and like there's the snow cap on Fuji and the lake and the colors, and you're just like, this is pretty nice.
Cool.
Amazing.
I love it.
I'll say Queen Elizabeth Park in Vancouver is a really, really nice place. It's kind of at the height of the city there. And that's where me and Tangy got married, was there in the park.
nice.
So
Cute.
really nice little place.
I like that answer.
Good answer.
Excellent. Finally, I'll give you guys something to have to latch onto from me. Something that's not all full of hate.
A little bit of love in that heart.
Oh, right. Here we go. Now I get the hard-hitting questions.
Ooh.
Of course. It's because I'm so opinionated. Sneakers or boots?
I saw that one too, and I was like,
See, I go for the tough ones.
Yeah.
I love sneakers. I have like 30 pairs of Reebok pumps.
I don't know if I've ever seen you wear a pair of boots.
No, I have winter boots, that I wear outside in the winter when
In
there's
the
lots of
snow.
snow. No, we didn't have a lot of snow this year, so I didn't really have to wear my boots that much. Now, I would like to have like a pair of tall boots, like up to my knees, like
cowboy boots?
or like a 75 hole set of docks or something,
Oh, yeah.
something up really high with like a
75
pair of short shorts and high boots. I tell you,
I dig it.
I can rock that.
I can
Look out
picture
for
it,
that.
unfortunately. Yes.
I hope you'll be picturing it tonight when you go to bed, Dicky.
Before I go to bed, even maybe.
How about you, Adam? Sneakers or boots?
I think sneakers, right?
You got a favorite sneaker?
I just like sneakers.
Yeah.
They're just kind of comfy.
Yeah, they are.
They do what they should.
They should. They sneak.
They sneak.
And they err.
And they are on the side of caution. Emily?
They kind of do, though. They sneak. You know what I mean? It's like the noise it makes. I'm definitely a sneaker person, but I do like boots in the winter because it's freezing cold here. and
We do
get
live in
snow.
boot country.
We live in boot country.
this actually is a hard-hitting question for me. I'm someone who doesn't like footwear very much. I prefer when I can wear sandals and no socks. I actually hate socks. I think that's what it is for me.
Nice.
And whenever I find one pair of boots that works for me, I want to wear them forever. The boots I have on right now, falling apart, covered in salt, everything like that. But anytime I try on a new pair of boots or a new pair of sneakers, I hate it. I'm like, no, let's go back to the comfortable thing. So I would wear my boots all year. I wear my boots for as long as I can. Then I wear sneakers if I'm like working out or like going for a good walk or something. But it usually goes boots to sandals for me.
See, now I don't like sandals. I have to have socks on. I don't like my bare feet to touch any floors.
We're like
so I
off-
very rarely walk on a floor with nothing on my feet. And if I do, I kind of walk like sideways foot.
Me too, yeah.
And I wear slippers. If I don't have my shoes on, I always have my slippers on.
I also hate it.
Yeah, Dickie?
Sneakers, totally. But they got to be like, I can't remember the brand that I buy all the time. I buy the same brand, exact same sneaker every time I buy new sneakers. But it has to be like I hate sneakers or anything with big labels and stuff. Like just want to no labels, just very, ambiguous sneakers.
My sneakers have a dual pump
you.
on either side. Dual Reebok pump runners.
Steve always has cool shoes.
Yeah,
I have a lot of Reebok pumps.
I can't believe pumps are still a thing.
Oh, wait till the summer comes, Dickie. You're going to see a different pair every week.
Big on shoes.
I have a lot of pairs. All right, well, that's about all the time we have for tonight. CBC's Adam Walsh, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
A big thank you to Becca Bartlett for your wonderful performance. You got anything else you'd like to plug, Emily, Dickie?
If you want to book your hair or makeup for your wedding, I'm now booking 2026. 2025 is officially booked.
Wow.
Nice, she is
Thank you
great.
for my Bowring Park wedding.
Yeah,
Oh.
How many
Excellent.
years?
absolutely. I'm there.
Dickie, I saw you had some more albums or some more CDs in at Fred's. Is that right?
Yeah, same album. Good Night Nobody,
Yeah.
still at Fred's. It'll, same copies that were there. That's been there forever, I think. It'd be cool if somebody
You're
bought
supposed
one.
to say, I just dropped a bunch of new ones off because they're moving like
They were
hotcakes.
Yeah,
moving
I've
so
sold
quickly.
the first 1,000. They're going like hotcakes. There's very limited supply. So
Down there and get one
15
before
left.
it's gone.
Here's we'll get you to sign this after. We'll get you to both sign it. We'll put it on the wall. And then here's your guest gift. One there for Becca, one for you. This is volume 3 of our show zine. It's scenes from my 1996 high school agenda. This one covers when I skipped school one day and took a disposable camera to the mall and told them that I work for the Telegram and took pictures of people working in different stores.
So good.
And for some reason, I developed them and taped them inside my agenda.
wicked.
And now you have them.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, thanks so much. Next week, we'll welcome Jane from Posey Row. She's going to chat about the shop and the upcoming spring and summer season in downtown. She's just going to have to come right up the stairs.
nice.
Easy. We'll also
knock on our door.
come and knock on our door. Oh, keep going. We'll be waiting for you. I always wonder what the word lyrics were in that song. And when I figured it, I loved it.
It's amazing.
We'll also have a musical presentation from Liam Peacock next week, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
A presentation?
Presentation.
That sounds very formal.
Very
Is he actually presenting? Like, is it a performance or a presentation?
It's a performance. He's presenting a performance.
Oh. Okay.
Big thank you to the Resource Center for the Arts at the LSPU Hall for financially supporting our program. If you got something you'd like to say, hulk@hulkshow.com. For Adam, Becca, Emily, and Dicky, I'm the Hulkster. Thanks for watching The Hulk Caesar Show.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.